Welcome. This is the 999 show, and we are doing an episode of Coloring the Tarot with Mama Sushi, and she is directing my hand to color the Five of Swords. And so while I'm turning my camera to a different orientation, she will tell you about her channel and what it is that she does.
Well, my channel is pretty new. I've got 177 subscribers. Um, I'm really into fertility readings. Um, basically anything. I'd like to get into more sacred objects, jewelry, tools. I have a pendulum book I really want to go over in more detail. Um, but I want to grow my channel and get, I'm honestly interested in pre-birth spirit babies because of my own experience with my daughter. She came to me before I even conceived her. And I don't think that's heard about very much. It's very kind of secretive and taboo. And so that's what I'm interested in.
Okay, so now let's just, while we're thinking here, why don't we think about what color? These
Oh,
are my pencils here, so we're going to think about what color, and what do you want to start with? What do you want to start with first here?
yeah. Okay. Okay. What about the clouds?
Okay,
Um, I guess just the usual that dark gray.
you want it dark gray, or do you want maybe like a. Okay, so we have a dark gray, but what we could do is take a couple different colors and layer them in together to create a optical dark gray.
Okay. Yeah.
So we could do like a darker blue, and then I can layer on top of that darker blue like a some gray tone colors. And I'll pull those
Okay.
tones out of here. And so the pencils, the colors are seem to be scattered all throughout here because I need to go through and organize the colors. But
Mm,
you look at these things and think, oh, I really like those purple colors and so forth.
yeah. I like that blue that's in between those purples on that last page. Right.
The This one here.
Oh, yep. I like that one too.
So let's go. Let's just go gather up the colors, and then do you want me to try with like something else? Because I can go. Um, Anything else in here that might
Hmm.
not the yellow, I'm assuming, and not the
I like that one that you just pointed to. Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's do that one. We'll start there with these ones.
Okay.
And I'm going to. All right. So like your pre-birth experience. Welcome, Summer. Welcome, the more intuitive me. Welcome, Chris Topaz. Welcome, Amaris World. And so, all right. So why don't you talk a little bit more about that? Because that pre-birth thing, that's pretty interesting. And
Yeah.
so,
Um. Well, I didn't know at first what it was. I kind of did, but I doubted it. I was having dreams about a little girl, and she looked just like me. And my grandmother was in one of the dreams, and she like introduced us, and she was so wise, like a little Buddha. Um, but and I asked around to psychics, I'm like, is this even possible to know your baby before they're born? And it's possible. And I kept getting messages. Um, so I started doing my own readings, connecting with her. And this was like, 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
like way before I got pregnant. But I didn't know, yeah, I didn't know when she'd be here. And we kept trying, and I was giving up. And I would be jealous of other women because I felt like I didn't deserve to be a mom, but I really wanted to be.
Hmm. So would you like clouds down here to be a different shade than clouds up here? Or do you want it all like a uniform colors?
Did it just cut out for you?
It didn't cut. I don't know if it cut out. It must have.
Okay.
I didn't see it cut out. So
Okay. It cut out for me. But and my sister told me she was pregnant, and I was like, I was so excited for the first time in forever for someone to be pregnant, and I'm like, okay, like something's going on. And then a month later I was pregnant.
no.
um
Mm. Hmm.
and yeah, and now she's here. and
And so
and
this is your first child.
yeah,
Okay. And now she's here, and um. And how long has she been here for?
she's 10 months old.
Mhm.
She'll be 11 months at the end of the month. Yeah.
Hmm.
And this happens to plenty of women. Um, but a lot of them, think that they're crazy.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I've talked about my Israel experience a few times, and I've talked about in that Israel experience that I met a woman who was on the trip, but then she was with somebody, and so for a short time, I guess I broke that relationship up for about 9 months. But during that time that I was with her, people saw two boys around me.
oh,
And so I was like getting really excited because I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna, this is gonna happen. And but then it's like the rug got pulled out from under me, and then it didn't happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have to align on the right path for them to come.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have any so like 5 years before is when you started getting dreams and visions about the child that is now here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then other people you've spoken with other people who've had this experience as well, or is that
Yeah.
just mostly through forums and so forth?
Both. I guess more so forums, and on my TikTok, I've been helping some women with their spirit babies. Nobody knows about my TikTok.
No. No.
Yeah.
I have some social media accounts that are completely independent. They're just my accounts, and so I
Yeah.
understand. I understand that. How about we come in here with? I want to. I think we need to add another layer, another color in here. And
Okay.
what do you think that that should be? Um,
Um, well, I like the one that you were you just using that one or were you picking that one up?
no, the ones I was just picking up were these ones are the two I've used so far. But I kind
Okay.
of I feel like it needs a another layer, some other color, or
Can be healed or processed. Do you help or yeah, yeah. Hold on. I'm all over the place. Well, okay, I think maybe like a pink, yeah, or something a hint of
maybe.
something brighter in there.
Okay. How about we go? What about this one here?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's nice. Like around the edges, kind of.
Yeah, but how about also like one like this?
I like that one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so I'm thinking that we will make so the five of swords, which in let's say we take a look at some of these other five of swords, it has there is a it's an evenness there the all the way across the card the the color tones are all uniform. Is that something that you want to stick with, or do you want to try and do you think that should be maybe something well now this one has some variation in it, and then I also have this other card here which is like totally different, and um
Well, I think maybe more traditional. I think we can, um, I don't know, it looks like water in the back, right?
there is water in the back,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, so we can always do like a neat reflection on the water later on, but more uniform. Yeah.
More uniform.
Um, so Chris, I can connect with call them angel babies, the lost babies. The thing is, a lot of them come in as your own guide from the other side, like you, and it sucks to say it, but it's something that you both plan, and it's something that usually it's like a wake up call to something else, in a lot of cases.
Mhm.
Ugh, and some of those readings are hard, like, yeah, because there's a lot of pain involved
Mhm.
in the loss of a baby. And so when you read on it, it's kind of like you can't do it justice because the healing, doesn't come from me. I can
Mhm.
give you peace, like, and tell you, what they say and what they're up to, but like that's on the person themselves to take that information and go they can either go back and forth with it for longer. I'm rambling, but
Mhm.
like the healing, it's not going to happen instantly. It's on your own time.
Mhm. Mm. So the lost babies, what exactly are the lost babies?
So either during pregnancy
Oh, you
or
mean pregnancies that get lost? I get you.
yeah.
Yeah, I see. I see. So like a miscarriage or so
Yeah, or even after,
you know
and it's always confusing because I mean our
yeah.
bodies are confusing as it is, and you're gonna blame yourself, because that's the physical level. You
Mhm.
think it's your fault, you think it's your body's fault when there's more actually happening.
Yeah.
Like the babies we were babies, we have our own plans.
Mhm.
Anyway,
And so the more intuitive me,
Oh,
you
I'm
have to treat
sorry.
things, you know, yeah. So, anyways, so what do you think about this cloud? Do you like
I
this
like
one?
it. It went a bit more red than I thought it would for some reason.
Right, well, then I can come back over it with this gray, and then we can blend those things together a bit. And so, what maybe for the other ones, I'll just skip the darker red color out of it, so it has has a more of a sense of a different color. So it's not a monotone um, color scheme.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are your specific goals that you have for your channel for the future, and it's to do more of these type of readings and so forth. And
Yeah. I'd say this is a a big milestone showing myself. I think if I did that more, you know, maybe I'll do different kinds of readings. And the lives I have done, I don't do them very well. Like, I don't plan them very well, and I'm all over the place. And so,
well, that's a practice thing. So when did you open up your channel?
I need water at some point when I was like, when the baby was like 6 months old.
Okay,
That's how I gauge things now.
so it's only just been a few months
Mm,
you opened up your channel to doing stuff.
yeah.
Okay, so I wouldn't get too upset about videos and everything not going how you had planned, because I have two other channels that I started with, and all those videos are for the most part are hidden, and they're all terrible. And so it's like, and so it's like you in YouTube thing, you're looking at really the learning curve is pretty steep to learning how to, because I have what I have 500 public videos on this, but I've done close to 1,000 videos on just this channel alone. And
Wow.
I go through and I hide all the videos that are like low performing and so forth like that. And then with those other two channels, that was just a whole lot of fun that I was doing because I put like sets in the barn, and I was doing open mic poetry because I was working on a graveyard shift, and how to you can, when you work graveyard, it's like, okay, you have your days off, and so do you do the whole game where you switch things up so you're on the day shift 2 days a week, or do you just stay on the same shift? And I elected to pretty much stay on the same sleep schedule and everything while I was on that graveyard shift.
Yeah.
And so, and then, being that I live out in the boonies, so what did I do on my days off? Well, then my days off, I would just go down to the casino and I would drink and gamble. That was what I did on my days off. I didn't drink very much, but that's that was just the way that was.
Yeah.
But so with the YouTube thing, there's these levels of complexity that are there, and it just really requires that you have to accept the fact that the first 100 videos you do are garbage.
Okay.
That's the and then what that means is that you have, let's say you take your first 20 videos and you take a look at them. Now you only will pretty much want to save like one or two of the best of them, and then the rest of them you just run them either unlisted or you put them private, and then you go back and you remake them. See, with the things you have learned with how to do videos, and you just and then so you can just, because like with in my channel, and when I'm doing, because how many times have I painted um tree landscapes? I keep painting the same images over and over until I master them, and that's how you master those skills. Is you gotta keep doing it, and keep on it. And so, and that's not just for you, that's for everyone out there who's doing YouTube and is new to YouTube, is that there's a process to learning how to edit. And then so so are you doing like videos that you are filming and then you're editing them and then uploading them, or are you not editing them, you're just uploading them?
Well, I did one little short video that I kind of edited, um, but just lives, and some people go back and
Watch
and
them.
watch them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a lot of shorts.
The shorts. Yeah.
Yeah. My
Shorts is a
cat
good,
is going crazy.
shorts is a good way to learn how to edit. And um but anyways,
Yeah.
so what do you think so far?
I like it. I like that it, and kind of off topic but not, how the purpley is up top. I know we're going to add more purples down below, but it's kind of like the higher realms, are up there.
We don't have to add any more colors to it. You can just
Okay.
keep it this way, and so you have this sort of a layered effect of different kinds of emotions that are just coming into this.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Um
let's go in and work on the sky. And what do you want? What colors do you want the sky to be?
um
So you want them to be just a little bit lighter than the cloud,
yeah.
maybe like
Oh, I like that one. The one that blue next to those yellows.
the blue next to the greens. You mean
Yeah, no, to the right.
this one here? This
No, I can't even see your hand.
Oh, that's fine. I apologize.
Mhm.
I'm in the wrong. So over here, there's no
Yeah.
blue in here. So you want
Okay, maybe it's like a green. Never mind. Don't do that one.
no green? Okay. I'm sorry. I was not. So what about over here?
Um, okay. The
Let's go to another page then.
okay.
And so we have over here.
Mm, okay. The blue on the inside mm, end of the page you're on.
This one here.
That one. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, what about another one? Anything over here?
Um, that I like that one.
You
Yeah.
familiar with that?
Yeah.
Or and so they're similar. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do that. So now, do you have any like favorite tarot decks that you use?
Um, I have one from my grandma. I don't know the name. Um, but it's pretty traditional. I have one that I won. The oh
So you won a tarot deck.
yeah, from a giveaway. um,
Hmm.
I can't remember its name. Hold on. It is. Hold on. This
I okay. What is it called?
the Wandering Star.
See,
Sorry.
it,
It's really colorful,
hmm,
and it has the some of the meanings on them, just like very surface value, but it's really dark in here. Like here's the Justice card. It's all like really bold artwork.
okay.
I have a pregnancy tarot, um, which is pretty interesting. The I watched a couple walkthroughs on it, and I like the meanings more than the artwork, which
Mm,
is weird because that's I got it for the artwork. But when you look up close, the art is so like jaggedy,
yeah,
and I'm just like, ew, I don't really.
like the
So
art.
I like the guidebook so far. I just recently got it, but so far I like the guidebook.
I see. And
Yeah.
so, how long have you been doing tarot, and how long, and how did you get into it?
Um, okay. Well, one, I mostly do oracle readings, but I'd say like 2017-ish. My grandma had passed away a long time ago, but my mom had all of her stuff still packed up.
Hmm.
And when we moved, she all of a sudden was like, now's the time for you to have this. And it was like tons of crystals and tarot decks, books, healing books, crystal books. And I had already been into oracle cards, and I had a tarot deck when I was like 13, but
Hmm.
I was like, this is such a basic deck, honestly, that I
Hmm.
just like, I don't even know what happened to it. I have one of the cards from it. And I never, read from it. Anyway, so there was one certain deck from all of that books and stuff that I really liked, and I started doing readings for other people on Facebook. But I had to use, like, I was really drawn to it, but I had to use the guidebook, and I felt so like just boxed in and stupid.
Yeah.
And everyone loved their readings, but then I just stopped reading for other people.
Oh,
And so I stuck with
oracle deck readings.
oracle decks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So then, okay, so you've been kind of doing this for most of your whole life, and so Chris Topaz is signing off for the night here,
Oh, good night.
or morning, or whatever, because I think Chris Topaz is over there in Australia land.
Well,
Over there, gotta get myself a Vegemite sandwich, and
ew.
yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, anyway, that was well, I like Vegemite. I can get Marmite, but I can't seem to get Vegemite, and unless I like order a tube of it on Amazon for like $15 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you started out. So then you must have. Did you grow up in any particular religious tradition, or not? Since
Mm.
you had a grandmother who was doing all the crystals and things like that, and then so which means there must have been this incredible openness to different ideas in your upbringing.
Well, not really. Like my dad, he was the more religious one. He was Jehovah Witness,
Mhm.
and um oh, that was horrible because it was so hypocritical, um because of, honestly, because of who he was.
Mhm.
There was a lot of, abuse,
Mhm.
and so we would go to church, but he would feel guilty, and so he'd like have us leave early. But then he wouldn't let us celebrate Christmas sometimes, and in school he didn't want us to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and he still talks about, how tarot is the devil.
Mhm.
And he blocked me one time because he saw me post something about, a reading, and told me to throw my cards away, and
Yeah.
um and he still says stuff about
Mhm.
the apocalypse and how it's happening. And and then my mom's side though is Mormon, but
Mhm.
um she is, non-practicing of any, religion. She's spiritual, um but not religious. And but so like my grandpa, like he would go to church, um and he was pretty strict just in life in general.
Mhm.
But I didn't feel any like pressure from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, okay, so that was Jehovah Witness and Mormon, and so that was like pretty. That's like you grew up in a box then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I was like, I claimed to be atheist because I don't know, I still have an easier time talking about source energy because I can see that in science. Like
Mhm.
I've observed nature for myself
Yeah.
to know that there is at least a source. um and God, yes, but it's just harder to say for me still
Yeah.
after everything.
So with that, growing up in that box, you feel maybe like you got burned by the you got burned at the edges when you're banging your head up against the edges of the box. And so you have what you have is what I guess what they call religious trauma.
Yeah.
Would you say that was true or no? Um,
um kind of religious animosity being healed as we
mhm.
speak. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm, interesting. And so then,
Hmm.
so how I think I asked you how long you've been with the tarot and the oracle cards, but it seemed to have completely slipped my mind. Was it like 5 years now, or 10 years, or that you've been that
Hmm.
you've been where you have been? How long is it? How long have you been away from the box?
A long time. I'd say when I was about 18, 19, when I was on my own, that's when I like freed
Hmm.
myself. And then um shortly after that is when I actually became, I'd say, spiritual instead of just more scientific
Yeah.
thinking.
Okay, so
So
what do
I
you
don't
think
know. I guess
of the
sorry.
sky? What do you think of the sky and the cloud? Uh, kind of a scheme going on right now.
It's pretty. I like it.
Like it? Okay.
Yeah.
So, how about we go to what about the water here? Because it's darker in any of these kinds of schemes going on. This is really darker more, and then over here it has. But see, over here it has some like red and purple tones in it in your traditional Rider weight.
Yeah. I would like, yeah, like a darker purpley purple tones.
And purple tones, darker purple. Okay.
Yeah. Um, so why did you pick the Five of Swords though?
You know what? I don't know. I didn't have a plan. So there was no real plan why I picked the Five of Swords. But I guess I did the Four of Swords with more intuitive me um
Okay.
last week, and then I what I was doing is working on avoiding all of the cards where I that have that I can't like that like this. I'm avoiding all of these ones because you can't color the background,
Yeah.
and so that's why that's because this one you can't do. I could have done this one, but I was also, I guess, maybe because the Five of Swords had a bit more complexity than let's say like an ace or you know um or like everybody, or like this one. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm you know or like that one, which I've done some of these myself, or like that, because this I just chose. I don't know why I chose this
Okay. Well,
one.
like when you said it, I'm like, oh dear, because I'm like I always have Five of Swords stuff going on in this house. So I'm like, I felt like you picked up on it somehow.
Well, I don't know if I did. I don't know. I don't know that I did. So
Okay. So purpley dark blue for the
purple,
water.
purpley dark blue. So I'm gonna pour these out of this can here and things out of here. I don't really do crystals because I don't really understand crystals. Um, I bought some of these things. I don't know what to do with them now. It's like because my own background is like kind of um, I have a science background too, and so anyways, let's go with one of some of these colors. Now what I have some um like there's some metallic colors. Let me just go separate out all my metallic colors. So I might actually you might actually add, I think probably will add one of these into the skyline just to give some more complexity to it.
Yeah.
And here are my metallic colors. And then this also is a kind of a very bright yellow. I'm going to add that in here too. This is a burnisher, and this is my blender. So we're going to keep those. Then maybe the rest of these colors I'm going to put back into the can, and if we want them out again, I will bring them out again. But they are
Okay.
anyway. So we're looking at. You don't need that one. You don't need this one, and probably don't want the bronze yet. But maybe you want to use some of those metallics for the sword.
Yeah.
And So where would be for colors that are like in the red purple range? We have this one and this one, but maybe there's this metallic green, and then there's this one here.
Hmm.
I'm going to put these over here, and maybe we do all of these colors in there.
Yeah, because water has some green spots, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just a mix of all of them.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I've asked everybody who's come on this, and how is it that you think that how is it that you think that tarot or oracle works? How does it work?
Um, I'd say with connection, and your own senses. Um, so when we're grounded and connected to our higher selves, our higher chakras, our guides. This is okay. So I guess some people, like Tom, right, would say you're connecting to something inside of yourself. But I see it as, yeah, higher beings, our higher selves. So, and then when you're properly grounded, it creates a circuit of electricity. That is science as well. When you make the connection of the question to the proper guides, the electricity will flow through your hands, and help guide you to the right cards, the right messages.
Hmm.
And then from there, whatever you see is your senses picking up on the message. Like if you're drawn to more of a picture, like Care Bear said, maybe you're clairvoyant, which I think we all have gifts in different ways, and you can gain gifts. Um, so, yeah, whatever you pick up on at that time is for them. And that's why messages, can change. Sorry. The cards can change depending on the person and what you see.
Hmm.
Um, and that's why, the cards, your favorite decks depend on what you usually pick up on. If you like a lot of imagery and symbolism, you're going to probably want, more detailed, cluttered cards. If you have cognizance, clear knowing,
Mhm.
you might just want some words, and then you can let that gift take over of where, chills, where the answer just comes to you.
I see.
Yeah.
So then, how is it that when you get an answer, how does it come to you?
Um, well, it would be in for me personally or just in
Well,
general.
we talk about you.
Oh, for me, um, I think it just comes.
So does it come like words in your mind's eye, or is it like pictures or
A lot of the time it's pictures. I'll get songs, but a lot of the time it's just knowing and seeing, I guess. Yeah. So, because I've gotten full blown weird freaking visions before.
yeah?
But that's not like a day to day thing unless I'm working on it. But so what I'm drawn to in the imagery, I'd say,
Okay. All right. So then I'm assuming you work with clients then. Do you
For
have clients for
free.
free? Okay. So when you work with a client for free, how do you like do that reading right there on the spot, or do you like just take some time with it to rest with it and their with their question and so forth?
Both. Like, yeah, I don't have a schedule. I need to work out like if I had an office, then I could take more time, I feel. But so just like on the spot, I'll sit with it for a bit, and then I'll draw cards on it and I'll tell them both all
I
what
see.
I get and what the cards. But I would love to be, yeah, more structured with
So,
it, like have, yeah, an office and
so then it almost sounds to me like you could probably do a reading on somebody with a blank deck of cards.
yeah, that would be cool. Cause then yeah, it would just fill in itself. Well, and so one book that I read years ago, after like one of my first visions, and I was like, oh, this is a thing. Like people have different gifts. We don't see, like, I can see something in my field and it's not outside of myself, like clairvoyance.
Yeah.
Um, there's different types of clairvoyance. Anyway, so I read a book and it said, imagine the tarot as if they were little films and they move. And that helps a lot. Like, what would the picture keep doing
Yeah.
in the story? So like with our five of swords, like, is he gonna continue to backstab them? Is he gonna learn? Is he
Hmm.
gonna, change his ways and drop the swords?
Yeah.
Is he gonna apologize, hopefully? Yeah.
So what then? Let's say while you're at this mentioning the Five of Swords, what does this card mean to you?
Um, I'd say firstly, overconfidence. Um, and doing something that you know you shouldn't just because you think you can, which is like what happens in my life a lot, not to
Mhm.
complain or anything. Um,
So I'm gonna take this gray, the silver, and I'm gonna do the swords that silver color. Is that okay?
that's okay. Yeah.
Now do and maybe I should after that I should layer this green right on top of it, or
Okay.
or we have this gold color.
Ooh, I like the gold. Yeah.
All right, we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll just kind of put this down in here, then I'll layer that right on top of that. So then you can talk some. So this guy is like so like let's say you take a look at the we have the Five of Swords, which is but then there's also the similarity between the Five of Swords and let's say the Seven of Swords, where this guy is like, of course, there's no other people there, but this guy is like collecting up all the swords and and maybe trying to add them to his own wealth, making making off with all the swords that are laying around. That's this one, and
Yeah. Like,
but, but this one
like
almost
kinda.
same.
Sorry. Like he's trying to better himself, but in the wrong ways.
Hmm.
Um, but this one's also like I took notes and I wrote down time travel because it's like we're looking back at him, like, because he doesn't notice how smug he is, but we do. So it's like our future selves coming back and looking at our smugness
Oh.
um, and maybe reconsidering our actions. And that's why I liked the purple in the clouds because it's a spiritual moment, even though it's an egotistical card.
Hmm. Okay. I've actually never drawn this card before when I've done any though I've had like I you know I I think it was the third deck I ever got was the Light Seers, and I liked the art in it, but then with that one it seemed like every time I were to use it it's gives me bad news, and so I just don't use it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else do we got going on here? So we have the for you your the tarot works in a very well mystical way, and so that the definitions and everything slide according to the question that's asked.
Yeah.
So it sort of it's a very it's more fluid. What about the hilts of the sword? What colors do you want those to be?
Mm, um, do you think red would work okay?
Red then.
Or like an envious green,
You want the envious green or like one of these?
maybe.
Like one of these
Yeah,
colors
yeah. Like the one in the middle
here?
of the um yeah, I like that one.
Okay. All right. Envious green. Huh. I need a different shade in there for the darker one.
Okay.
So it doesn't so it has it kind of a lighter on the top and then darker in the back. Okay, so just for that. All right. So we're moving quite along here. And so you had the box that you grew up in. Now, do you want like the hilt, the bought in hilt, that like that red color tone you're thinking about, or would we want to go into just keep running maybe this darker green on it, and
Mm,
because we
yeah,
go
the green.
okay, all right, I'm gonna do that,
Um,
and
hmm. I want his outfit shirt thing to be yellow, but I don't know why, other than the color of intellect.
so that's like a you have this sense that there could be some forgiveness here, just as long as you were to look at this situation from a different viewpoint.
Yeah.
So would you like this bright yellow, and then maybe we go and we start with the bright yellow, and then now the sleeves. You want a different tone on the sleeves? Because like if we look at this one over here, there's red. The boots are orange. The his leggings are red, and then his tunic is green.
We could do that. The sleeves, red.
So like maybe this one of these reds that we put up in the clouds. So it's like So it's kind of all
Yeah.
reflected in the whole thing that there is that cloud energy that is in him as well.
Yeah.
Hmm. So we have like the cloud atlas. Did you ever see that movie?
Um, uh,
Tom Hanks and all.
no, no.
Okay. There was what was there something? There was a I almost came up with a when you were talking. I was a Star Wars reference. I almost pulled it in.
Oh, the freaking when he was like, "I am your father," and then they got all into
That
some argument.
that was yesterday because somebody whose English wasn't their second language was not their first
Oh,
completely missed the reference. That
oh,
was yesterday, but and with Luke, I am your father, kind of a thing, and yeah, but no, I it was not with that. It was something else here. I don't remember now. It's gone. I'm getting old, so my brain doesn't work as good as it used to, and yeah. All right.
another thing that got me into spirituality is um, I was always medicated. I was diagnosed with bipolar at first, and
Mm,
medicated for it until I was 18. And then they're like, oh, it's borderline personality disorder, and that can't be cured by medicine. And I was just so done with medicine. I had been on so many, and I would hurt myself,
mm,
and that started with the medicine, and PTSD. And so I just stopped all of my medicine, and I
Did you
was like, there's got to be a different way. And I started researching chakras and
mm,
um and how
align?
to help myself. Yeah.
You know? Okay, that was a bright yellow. I think we might. I think I want to tone. Want to tone down that yellow a little bit. Would you be interested in any of these colors to tone that yellow down?
The one next to that green that I thought was a blue,
This
that one,
one.
yeah,
Okay.
like a gold kind of.
When we go to the boots, do we want the boots to be any of these?
Mhm. Um, yeah, the that one you just pointed to, that orange,
This
like
one here?
one of the scarlety. Uh, it's hard to decide. Um,
Okay, I will just go and go. You just tell me when to stop.
okay. Uh, too much pressure. Okay. Stop.
Stop
Yeah.
here. Okay. Then we'll
Is
take
that
this.
too? Is that too yellow?
No, it's fine. That yellow is so I'm just like thinking of the boots, and then we
Yeah.
might add some of those colors, other colors in, and
Okay.
maybe while we're here, you might do like like this. Okay, and we're just gonna get the boot. What about when we come to these other blokes here? Do you want to like do just
Mhm.
similar color schemes as well?
Um.
Like maybe
Yeah. Like I think like browns, like to set him apart with his overly confidentness. So
hmm,
they're more kind of
there.
muted or neutral.
Let's see. Okay. All right. So did you have any like higher education beyond high school, or did you or are you for the most part self-taught and everything?
Um, Basically self-taught. I got my GED. Um, I made it into barely into my second year of high school, and they suggested that I get my GED.
I see.
Yeah.
Mm. So
And I'm sorry.
did you grow up in a different part of the country?
No, Oregon, and we moved a lot between Oregon and Utah.
I see.
Yeah. So we were basically like little nomads back and forth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like, hmm. With the was that like a more well, let's see, the Mormon, that was not since that was kind of a loose thing, and, so it wasn't like a more of a fundamentalist thing.
No, yeah, there was no like polygamy or anything weird.
Yeah. Yeah, my sister has, one of her employees, grew up in one of those polygamous households.
Oh.
Yeah. No, yeah, so okay. So some of Mormonism's kind of strange too. They have a lot of strange ideas. But you didn't
Yeah.
grow up with that, so you didn't have any of that influence. Those things weren't quite influencing your box.
No, just mostly I'd say from my dad and um yeah, and his immediate family. They were more religious, yeah.
Okay. So now, all right. The boots here, would you like this color to be its boots? Or no, let that way. We're going with these orangey tones. And yeah, I got it. I got it here. It's this orangey tones on his boots. And we are at an hour and 2 minutes in. And then we will want to do these other blokes, and then we have uh, the ground that he's standing on. What? Because that's over there is kind of a white. We could leave it like it is, or we could like add a very soft um, kind of a color into it. Maybe we want to add a little bit of some of these other tones.
Um I
Okay.
think
So what? Let's take a look at. Um, I'm just gonna open this can up, and there's probably gonna be a color in here that you might think that like the ground might be like maybe one of these two colors or both of them.
um can we do both?
We absolutely can do both.
Okay.
That actually works best to layer the colors in because we're coloring and we are not in the first grade. And we're coloring as though we have you know over 100 colored pencils to choose from. And, yeah. Now, these guys here. Now let's see. Okay, we have. There's a bit of a sameness going on, so I'm going to be wanting to layer in to make his boots kind of stand out from his leggings, and so because his leggings are now this sort of this yellowish orange color, and then and yeah,
Yeah, I thought of that, Michael. The leggings, and then if the people in the background are kind of brownish. So yeah, some more red.
So you want them kind of brownish. So what we could do is run we can do we can try for an optical brown, which would be to take one of those green envy colors and then run a red right on top of it.
Okay.
You want to try that?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we are with his leggings, which has some electricity in it because it's got a little bit of energy in it. And then maybe I'm going to take this this metallic pink, and we're going to add a little bit into his sleeves just to layer this stuff in here to give it some contrast um, between things. And down over here too. He's got these orangey boots and adding just a bit more reddish tones into everything. So you're doing really good here, sitting in the dark.
Yeah, I'm just listening to them with my baby out there, and it's driving me insane.
Well, you signed up for that, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go now. He's throwing this his coat elegantly over his shoulder. So what I'm going to do is just do a base coat of this green on all of the surfaces of the clothing, and then we will layer in that other color in order to gain some differences there.
Okay. If you hear
And
that kid's not my baby.
oh, it's not your baby, okay?
Yeah.
I
But
see.
I like that idea. A base layer. Yeah.
So that's kind of like your neighbor's baby.
It's my roommate's kid. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So you have a full house, then you're living in a full household then. So
Yeah.
um do you want the skin tones to be any particular color, or we can go with like non-traditional colors, like for instance um when I did the pool, um I made like gray colors of skin, or
Mm,
blue, but then we got a lot of blue in here, kind of your Hindu god, or a little bit more pinky.
mm.
So it's
Um, what if, I don't know, we could do a red?
red. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's come over here and add this red, try to achieve this optical brown in here, which is kind of doing it. And then I'll add another layer of green on top of it. And I think we'll do the underling colors kind of like that. And then down over here as well. Then we'll come back in and do maybe like some yellow.
Okay.
Brings in just some some differences here, and coming in over that, and let's go with like lightly flecked in there. Colors are there, and I'm going to go after a red.
Okay.
we are going to go in and select a red. And so we have some reds over here.
Hmm. Um,
And and there's other reds. They're more brownish reds. There are these color tones in here.
there was a brownish red backup page to the left.
Okay,
Yeah, that one right there.
this one here.
Yep.
All right, so and okay, so we got this brownish red skin tone. Oh, interesting. So, what do you think so far in this? Being that you were awfully nervous of being this is the first time you've shown your your face, kind of sort of yes no, and
I don't know. I think it's fine. I feel like everyone's bored, and I think it's weird to not be able to talk so much in the chat. I can't type,
oh,
and I'm
okay.
usually like, you know,
You're used to
babbling
being
away.
dribbling away in the chat, and then
Yeah.
yeah, okay, well, yeah. Hmm. Uh, I don't know. There's four people in here, so we got that, and then I'm gonna come back again later. We will finish this up. We're at an hour and 11 minutes in, and okay, here was what the ground color was, and then we'll just do some finishing touches as far as we're almost done.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put this in here, and okay. Well, there is that element with live streams that they with people tuning in and um, live stream art isn't exactly the most exciting thing to watch on the YouTubes. And
Yeah. Another one of my notes was future generations, like, since I'm all into kids and stuff. Like, let's say the guy with the swords is like a parent, and the ones walking away are their kids, because I hear a lot of people say, like, well, that's how I grew up, so that's how my kids are gonna be, like back in my day.
yeah,
So it's kind of like you're picking these swords up and leaving whoever with the mess you made, you know?
the kids are just leaving behind their things for the parents to clean up after them.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're talking about. That's interesting. I didn't really think about that. The mess that the kids make. Hmm. All right.
Mm,
Well, look what we've done. We have done this in all under about 90 minutes.
cool.
And Sienna, maybe a little bit that's Sienna in the foreground here. Maybe he's got some shadows going on this way, some different layering. So you've just been a few months into the YouTube, and you're still learning, and which is good. And so, had you heard anyone say about the whole first 100 videos are usually garbage that people put out? Um,
Um,
maybe that
I've
was
probably I've probably heard it before,
yeah,
but it just made me realize like how little of videos I've done.
yeah,
Like I haven't done many and I expect them to be perfect.
yeah. Well, we're you're. I tell you this because it can absolve you of whatever those things that you're feeling, any perfectionism that you feel by your your in your beginnings here as a YouTuber, because there is your knowledge which you have, and you're trying to reflect your knowledge into a video form, which is not as easy as as you thought it would be. So what what are your feelings about YouTube so far?
Yeah. I think it's I think it's just getting worse, honestly. Um, I don't know. I feel like I had more opinion on this like a month or two ago, and now I'm just kind of like neutral about it. Like okay, when I first started, I was really enthusiastic about it. And then so I had a show idea and then I told one person about it and I invited her on to do it. And next thing I know, she's not responding. And then she's doing the same idea, Crystal Skulls, you know?
Yeah,
And like I try and plan one with Jeff, no offense, because I know that everyone's on at the same time, you know?
yeah,
So I plan one with him and then he can't because he's, going on with someone else the same day.
yeah.
And that was like the last time basically that I did a live until recently because it just upset me so much. I was so excited
Hmm.
and I still have things I need to work out mentally, obviously.
Yeah.
um, and it happened with someone else too, something different. I don't even remember, but and I've had ideas stolen in the past, and I know like divine knowledge should be shared, but when you're struggling with your confidence as is, you kind of want to keep your ideas as
Shield as
your
possible.
yeah. And
Well,
so I'm like, who do I trust in this YouTube community?
you don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is the truth. So I had a second channel almost like a year ago that I was going to start doing a second channel, and I kept that title too close to my heart until I went live with it. Now I'm still building that other second channel, and so but I was not going to release any of those names of it simply because um, I I just knew that the idea that for that name would just get snatched up by somebody else, and so it to me it just seemed like, well, okay, because you do kind of yes, some of these ideas they need to be, free. However, that's not the world that we live in,
Yeah.
you know, and so that's so sometimes because it was like have you ever watched Next Level Soul before?
No, but it sounds familiar.
Well, he's a really big channel. I started listening to him when he was like under like 50,000 subs, or he was like around 10,000 subs, or somewhere around there. That was like just a couple years ago. Now he's like over a million, and he just blew up. He has lots of different people on. They're like channelers, and I don't think I've ever seen a tarot person on. There probably has been, but tarot just wasn't their main different kinds of main way of getting information. Um, it's kind of they are like uh, if I were to go to a novel that you've probably never read before, would be Raymond E. Feast, The Magician's Apprentice, and The Magician Master. Now these are fantasy novels that came out in the 80s that are still in print today. So they're really a good storyline. So like for instance, J.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings is like the king of fantasy, and then the next big fantasy author that came out is this Raymond E. Feast. And so, but in this, he's has like these two different levels of magicians. One uses one's like high art magic, and one is like low art. And so the low art magic would be a person who would use tarot cards and astrology and these tools in order to uh, get the message out. And where the high art would be is that they would be going directly to like a channel, or directly tapping into intuition, or whatever. It would be like when I mentioned to you earlier about doing a tarot reading using blank cards. And so where I'm getting at with this is that there's been a lot they've had a lot of those type of people on there. So he does all a lot of these guests that are like, well, one of the guests in particular they were talking about was they were talking about Prince, and they were talking about Michael Jackson, and they were talking about these mainstream artists, these pop artists. They all had like recording studios in their homes, and they would get an idea at 2 o'clock in the morning. Then they had to go and record that idea, record it right now. And then when it was asked was, well, if I don't record this idea, then this is talking to Prince, then Michael Jackson might snatch it up like at 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's
Oh
like
my gosh.
these ideas that are flowing out in the human superconsciousness, and there are a lot of these high level intuitive people, and they're grabbing those ideas, and those ideas that exist in the human superconsciousness, and you're just grabbing them out. And so you have to, when an idea comes into you that is novel like that, well, you need to really jump on that idea is what is in. And so if you, like for instance, me, I got that other channel name, I grabbed that name and I kept it, and I did not mention it until I was ready to release it. And I'm still not quite, so the part where no one else had used that channel name at all.
Yeah.
And so in a sense that you've done this, and that's kind of what I don't know if that pertains to anything, but it's that you had these show ideas, and you shared it with somebody else, and then that other person went and snagged your idea, and so they don't really want to do a show with you on it. They're just going to do your idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that before too, that yeah, the divine will send out, yeah, mass ideas to better the world, instead of a select few, like what used to happen. And it doesn't matter who fulfills the invention or creation as long as it gets done for humanity. And yeah, like, so I guess it's good someone's using the ideas,
Mhm.
but yeah, it just feels unfair sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, I think that we're done with this. Do you think it needs another little extra color and maybe another red? I think that was what it needed, was another red in the in the guy's skin tone, a lighter red. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go here and grab that, maybe one of these pinky colors here. I
Okay.
think this one here. Yeah, and so that was that. Next Level Soul. That's kind of an interesting program. He's guys like a uh, he's a Hollywood guy. So he's got these Hollywood guys, and I think he's based out of Texas, and he's running. And it seems like he's releasing a new show every day, but I don't think it is. I think it's like 3 times a week, and I think it's just he and his wife run this whole thing, and they're not, and they're booking guests, and they're having interviews and stuff like that, and it's a pretty impressive operation he's got going on. And then for the first like year or so, he set everything up as like a fundraiser. So I don't know if he's, I'm sure he's making a small living on it, but you know, anyways, just the YouTube stuff of
Yeah.
hearing the
Well, my husband's wanting to know if I'm done. uh,
and we are. I think we are
mm,
now. The last thing here is 210 to 25. Coloring the tarot
yep.
with now. So how did you come up with the name Mama Sushi?
Oh my God. It used to be Twisted Sushi, which I came up with when I was like 14, and then Courtney Elf in like Scott's chat would always call me Mama Sushi, and so I changed it finally.
So you could also change your handle that, because when you're not actually quite visible as Mama Sushi. If somebody goes to go search you as Mama Sushi, it
It's
doesn't.
still
You're still pretty close to invisible. So,
okay.
um, but anyways, if you do change your handle over to Mama Sushi as well, then you're going to have to go. Um, then you will be invisible for a little while until and because everything pretty much is searched out on your handle, more so on your channel name. But your channel name, when you get a certain amount of material out there, that's when because if I go 999 show, it doesn't show up, and it never did. But if I have to do the direct link, or you have to do like a title, a video title, or something like that. And so anyway, that's just the way things are. And so I'm gonna say we're done here. And I wanted to thank you very, very much for coming on my program and being like what less than the what number of guests are you? So it was Roots and Waves, Tarot Your Way, um, Tarot Asked Backwards, um, The Essence of the Moon, The More Intuitive Me, Care Bear Bard of Cards, and then it's you, number
Yep.
7.
Okay.
All right. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye bye.
Okay. See you guys later. Bye.
All right.